And I'm surprised that nobody ever recommended this to me. I'm really surprised that nobody recommended this to me. Hi people, welcome back. I'm going to be talking about the Chinese 2022 drama series Who Rules the World, starring Yang Yang and Zhao Lusi. I think that's how you say her name. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's just get into it. Because the way I loved this series until episode 35, I can't even explain it, guys. Let's talk about it. So the series is adapted from the novel of the same name, and it blends elements of politics, intrigue, and martial arts, as well as romance. Plot summary in a nutshell. It's set in a fictional ancient world. I don't know why I could not just speak in that statement just now. It is set in a fictional ancient world. Lord have mercy. Divided into 7 rival kingdoms. I still can't speak, guys, apparently. The drama follows Hei Feng Xi, who's played by Yang Yang, this man, and Bai Feng Xi, who's played by Zhao Lusi. I love her. Honestly, since Hidden Love, I've been obsessed. Yang Yang, Yang Mi, Zhao Lusi, Diliraba. Hopefully I got that right. These 4, as well as Shukai. Yes, the 5 of them. Stella, I'm enjoying like growing my Chinese repertoire and, you know, falling in love with these different actors and actresses. And I just love it. It's a whole new genre for me to sink my teeth into. I'm here for it. So these 2 powerful martial arts, sorry if you hear noise, my husband's doing something. I don't know what, but he's doing something. So these 2 are powerful martial artists and strategists. Now, the first episode, I didn't really understand what they meant by wherever Hei Feng Xi was, Bai Feng Xi, or wherever Bai Feng Xi was, Hei Feng Xi would be. Like they would challenge each other. And I'm like, if they've been challenging each other over these years, how come it's just now that they're falling in love? But then again, if they don't fall in love now, how would we get the story, right? So just move past it. Hei Feng Xi is a cunning and resourceful prince in disguise, and Bai Feng Xi is a free-spirited but formidable warrior. They frequently have like clashes, and they collaborate once in a while as they navigate palace schemes. They battle for the battles that are going on for supremacy between the 7 kingdoms, and also they have this growing affection between them. The romance between them, oh, delectable. Chef's kiss. I loved it. I loved how she would always call him Black Fox. Even when people were addressing him as Your Highness, my prince, she would always come and say Black Fox. It was my favorite thing for every time that she would address him. The way their romance grew was just beautiful. I love how he fell in love with her, and she kind of was attracted to him, but until he declared himself, it didn't really settle for her. I loved it. I loved the way he addressed everything. I like that they did not drag it on, you know, till episode 40 before he was declaring himself. I think he declared himself in about episode 20. I think thereabout was when he now started doing things, and maybe that was where they kissed. I can't remember, but I like the way it went. Now the story delves into political struggles between the 7 states as rulers fight for dominance, martial arts and Jianghu alliances, with action-packed fight scenes and wuxia themes. The martial arts in this was phenomenal. I love that we got to see her fighting, see him fighting, see other people fighting. Like, they were strong warrior women, they were strong warrior men. Everybody had their own thing going for them, and the choreography was fantastic. Look, when I tell you that I really loved this until episode 35, and I'll get to it, it's not as if it was bad. I'll explain my reasons. But when I tell you I loved this, I loved it. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the Apothecary Diaries, which I'm absolutely in love with. Mao Mao is my spirit animal, guys. So the Apothecary Diaries without, you know, Mao Mao and her obsession for poisons. Even though poisons played a huge role in this series as well. I mean, anything that goes back to a period piece, so there's always poison. Somebody always dies by poison because that's all they knew then, you know. It really reminded me of Apothecary Diaries in live action, and I think that's what I was drawn to. Guys, I did not use my skip button until episode 35, and for me, that is huge. That is huge. Every episode had English. It had still not English intrigue. It had espionage, it had murder mysteries, it had them solving things, it had things connecting to this bigger plan, which is exactly what Apothecary Diaries was, and why it was such a refreshing blast for me when I watched the anime way back when. So this was like that, and every episode was interesting enough that I was glued. The power play, the fights between the princes, the king being so annoying and encouraging the power struggle between his sons. The king annoyed me so much. I absolutely loved it. Also was the slow burn romance between the two equally matched protagonists, you know, with their romance filled with mutual attraction, admiration, and all these hidden emotions here and there, and how that actually comes out and comes to play. Fantastic. Then there was the betrayals and the power shifts, which kept the tension high as the characters fought for survival. It was so good. So if we break it down, there were three sons who were vying for political dominance. They were vying for the seats. And to be honest, it seemed like, what's his name? Hei Feng Xi, his own kingdom was higher than the emperor's kingdom, which made no sense to me because the emperor was the emperor. But the political play in Hei Feng Xi's courts seemed to take, priority to the actual emperor of the entire world. And I was like, okay, why is this such a huge thing? But I guess that's what we were focused on, so that's why they stayed. The main characters, like I said, were Yang Yang, who plays Hei Feng Xi or Feng Lang Xi. He's a brilliant and voila day. He's a brilliant, enigmatic strategist who hides his true identity as a prince of Young Zhao, I think is how you say it. Don't know, honestly. Forgive me if I'm wrong. He's cold and calculating, yet deeply loyal to those he cares about. He's definitely cold and calculating in the beginning, but obviously interactions with Bai Feng Xi kind of mellow him out. And he had to be cold and calculating because he had to survive. They had killed his mother. They were going to kill him too. Because his mother was from the emperor's household. So she was the true, sovereign queen head. And her son was the one who had the highest birth rights or blood rights to the throne. So it made sense that everybody else would be against him. And the kings, the woman the king actually loved, who had the third son, was vying to kill him. She had already killed his mother, so he was next in line to go, Then you have Zhao Lusi, who plays Bai Feng Xi, or Feng Xiyun, a carefree, righteous, and mighty martial artist who has unparalleled skills. She was fantastic. Her real identity as a princess kind of complicated her relationship with Hei Feng Xi, but we don't even get to confirm her real identity till I think in the 30s, the episodes in the 30s. And I didn't really mind her identity. They were already saying that how can he want to marry her? She's not of royal blood, and she's just sitting there. She's an actual full-blown princess, At first, I thought that they were deities. With the way she was moving, man, with the martial arts skills that they were displaying in this, I thought that they were deities. And then they settle it down and they say, no, these are actually human beings. I was like, well, where are they getting their martial arts skills from, and where can I train? Because I want to just fly at the drop of a hat if I can. I thought that it was really cool. Zhuan Lu, who was Feng Xiyu, I loved her. So she was a general in Hei Feng Xi's kingdom, and she fell in love. So she's a noble woman who harbors deep affections for Hei Feng Xi, and she plays a very key role in the court politics. She had already sworn sovereignty to him once she discovered that he was extremely brilliant. She was looking for a husband, so she had set her sights on him. Unfortunately, he was not in the mood for romance at the point in time, and the truth was his heart was already going to be with Bai Feng Xi anyways. What I appreciated in the entire grand scheme of things was the fact that when Bai Feng Xi came into the picture and Shui Yu, I don't know if it's Shui Yu or Kui Yu, I'm going to say Shui, or let's call her FQ. Yes, thank you. We ain't about to be discrediting names on this channel. And when FQ realized that Bai Feng Xi was the one that Hei Feng Xi loved, there was no petty, nasty rivalry between the women. Although Bai Feng Xi kind of disarmed her and just quickly, like, you know, plowed her with compliments because she's also like a fighter as well. So Bai Feng Xi had always wanted to meet her because she'd always respected her and looked up to her, you know, as a fighter. You know, that kind of another female warrior, no, warriors. Is that a word? Guys, I don't know. But what I loved is the fact that there was no petty rivalry and like, oh, I'm going to fight you for his heart, he is mine. You know, that whole the boy is mine scenario, Brandy, Monica kind of thing. I loved it. They were friends, and the friendship, and as soon as she saw them together, as soon as FQ saw Bai Feng Xi and Hei Feng Xi together, she realized that these people were meant to be and there's no place for me. She even said it one time that she would discredit herself if she tries to go up against Bai Feng Xi because it's not even, there's no chance in hell for her to win. I loved it. It was my favorite, one of my favorite things about the entire series, that the women were not fighting for this man. Solid. Next in line was Lai Yi, who plays Huang Shao. Now we know from Eternal Love. He was one of the disciples. I think he was first disciple, wasn't he? I think so. And we also know him from the King's Avatar. He was Bowser or Bao Hao, one of those names. But he was a very quirky character in that. I like the actor. I like it. I think he's handsome. I think he plays his character as well. He's a good actor. In this, he's a powerful warlord who has ambitions to unify the entire land. So at first, you know, he's very likable. You see him and you're like, oh, I like you. And then he says, oh, I want to rule the world. And you're like, hold up, wait a minute. Let me put my two-step in it. What you talking about, bruv? You know? And then throughout, it's kind of like a push and pull. You like him, you don't. But I think it was the character that was beside him and helping him pull the strings, because that one had a different agenda going on. So in the end, I did like Huang Chao. I thought that he was great, and I loved the person that he married. That girl matched him tit for tat. She was the girl in Eternal Love who was serving the main fox lady and took the prince. I don't know if this makes sense. If you watch Eternal Love, you know what I'm talking about. But I like that he met her. I think they matched. She had ambitions to become the empress of the world. And she did it in a way where it didn't really hurt people, even though she can. It's a switch, guys. If she decides to go the other way, she's going to be a terrible person. But I feel like she and Huang Chao will balance each other very well. And last but not least, we have Shang Hao Wei, who plays Wu Yan. Thank you. He's a scheming tactician with his own secret motives. So he's the one who was whispering into, or, you know, basically coaching Hang Chao to become the master of the world or the ruler of the world or whatever it is. But his own agenda was really to create chaos and steal all the it was basically to create chaos. He was trying to cure his blood curse, and in order to do that, he needed the token or whatever it is. In order to get it, he didn't really care how he did, but he played Hang Chao really well up to the very end. When they revealed that he was the one that was the leader of the Soul Taker sect, I think that's what it was called, guys, my flabbers were gasted. I was like, I was shocked because I wasn't looking out for him. So, you know, the acting, his storyline, his character line, very well developed, because I wasn't looking out for him at all as the bad guy. And then it's revealed that he's the bad guy, and I was like, God dang. I loved it. I say I love this series up until, it should have been 1 to 35, and it would have been perfect for me. Perfect for me. I need to make one dishonorable mention. What's her name? Where's her name? The Tiangshu, is that what it was called? No, the sect that Bai Feng Xi studied with, the daughter, who is played by Bai Langhua. As soon as I saw that girl, I think she was like 13 years old when she did this show, because she's only 16 now or something like that. As soon as I saw her, I said, this girl is going to be useless. And true to form, this girl annoyed me every single time she was on my screen. Is it that she's whining, or she wants to rush into things, or she's stabbing her friend? And I'm like, it pissed me off when they were like, oh no, it's okay, you're okay, you made a mistake, we were all fooled. No, stab her back. I'm kidding. But I knew she would be a problem, and she was. In fact, I didn't even know that the scene where she stabs Bai Feng Xi was the scene that I saw on TikTok or YouTube one time like that. And somebody was explaining, there was this long explanation, but it was a short that I saw. I didn't know that this was the show. So it was very deja vu-ish when I was watching it, and I was like, oh my god, this was the scene that I saw like 6 months ago, whatever it was. Really cool. Those were the main characters. Let's go to strengths of the whole thing. Strengths was the strong chemistry between the leads. These two people gave us compelling performances. They balanced their witty banter with heartfelt romance. I love the way they bounce things off each other. You know how she'll come and sit down and say, talk to me. There are things that maybe you haven't seen that I may be able to iron out. They will now show us the moon. They always show the moon, guys. Loved it. Every time that she will surprise him with her, intelligence, and with the way he would be like, oh my god, you could just see every single time that she would do something that just impresses him. He falls deeper in love. I loved it. The slow burn relationship that developed in between them, it started out with friendship, then life for life kind of thing. It really does highlight drama beautifully, and then it creates this strong romance for them at the end of the drama. Absolutely fan-fucking-tastic. They delivered perfectly. The well choreographed action scenes. Take my money. Take all my money. They did it so. The series honestly featured dynamic and beautifully shot fight sequences. It was true to like the wuxia genre. I don't like period pieces, guys. You guys know. It's not like I don't watch them. I just don't typically like them. I'm happy. I'm looking forward to rewatching the series again and again and again and again. 1 to 35. Without question. Because I absolutely love the fight scenes. They were done so well. So freaking well. And it was such entertaining. Every time that they would stab somebody or slit their throat, I was like, God dang. They ain't playing around. They did it so well, and I can't boast enough or praise them enough for how much effort that they put into the choreography of the action scenes. The intriguing political game of it all so well. The court and the kingdoms, the rivalries just added depth to the story, and it just made it a lot more than just a romance story. And then the high production value, it was beautiful, from the costumes to the cinematography to the CGI. So well. Every time they would pan out over young Zhao, it kind of reminded me of The Mummy and how we would see the whole of Egypt whenever they went back in time. I like things like that. I don't know why. I can watch period Egypt pieces, but I don't know what it is, guys. I think maybe just the way that they balanced everything in this, from the action scenes to the political intrigue to the romance to the banter to the wittiness to the just everything. I think it was just well balanced enough, and it really struck a chord in me. I think that they did fantastic. Some weaknesses, maybe underdeveloped side characters. Some of the supporting characters could have been done a lot better. The first brother, that one is me. Oh, mommy love me. He was way past his 30s. At some point, you have to call it quits and realize that this woman does not like you. I think they could have done more for his character. Also, they kind of wrote him off as, disabled in the end. And then he was walking. It's like they just abandoned the story of him going to need for the rest of his life, and kind of flipped it by the end. I thought that wasn't really continued properly, but it is what it is. The storyline is relatively predictable, but the things that happened by the end of the series, I didn't predict. Him giving away all of his life to her, I was like, what is this rubbish now? Don't get me wrong, I like that they still get to spend time together, but it wasn't enough. So that wasn't really predictable. Pacing was fantastic. It was one of their strengths. I think they paced it well because, like I said, there weren't any episodes that I wanted to skip up until 35. So let's get to episode 35 now. So everything that happened, they settled things in Hei Feng Xi's court. He had been crowned heir. He was going to take over the kingdom. That's done. They now left the last 5 episodes for us to see Bai Feng Xi's, war, strategizing, and how she handles her this thing, because she goes back home, her father dies, her brother dies, same day. Goodness, who wrote this story? We've been so happy from the beginning. All of a sudden they hit us with this double whammy for this poor girl, and she's there trying to come out of the martial arts, meandering mindset into princess mindset, and she has to lead the whole people. Then there's a war coming up. Huang Chao is coming to get her. That kind of thing, and they had to deal with that. I don't like war. Whether it's guns, swords, chopstick, I don't like war. Pillow, I don't like war. So 35 to 40 was a hard watch for me, guys, and that's when my skip button started playing out. There's a lot of action scenes there. There's a lot of fight scenes. I watched that. Oh, one of my favorite scenes during that, I think it was 38 or 39, one of them, where she'd been fighting day and night, and then he finally made it, and he said, they dare to hurt my woman. The king, eternal monarch, when he said, protect her, she is your future queen. It's a problem. I loved it. It was such a good scene. I loved it. But again, I don't like war, and I didn't really see the need for them to have included that part. I get it. They've built up Hang Chao, to this point where, this was what he had to do. He was going to have to take over her own place, and then from there, kind of like Alexander the Great, conquer each of the 7 kingdoms and unite them. But to me, it wasn't necessary. They could have told the story differently, honestly. Because even in between, 1 year passed, and then again, 5 years passed, and it's like, okay, did we really need all of this for you guys to tell the story? It kind of put a damper on the entire thing for me, if I'm being honest. They should have done 1 to 35 and ended it there. Leave Huang Chao's story unanswered. They could have answered Wu Yan's story somehow in between the first 35 episodes. We didn't need the whole war, is what I'm trying to say. But it's fine. It is what it is. That was the only drawback for me. And then that whole, snow frost life, whatever technique that he used to save her life, which left him only with 10 years and white hair. He did look cute with the white hair though. But my own question is, couldn't that old man have just split their life down the middle so they each have the exact same amount of time left on earth together, and they can be together for that time? Because now when he dies in 10 years, what is she supposed to do? Just have a lonely existence for the rest of her life, missing the man? Or is she going to do the same technique towards the end of his life and then split her own life too and give it? Like, it just didn't make sense. I think that for the amount of romance and the beauty that they had created in the first 35 episodes, they could have ended it well. It wasn't a bad ending, but it wasn't my kind of ending, is what I'm saying. Yes, they do live the rest of his life together in peace and harmony and in a lot of love, but it's only 10 years. Are they going to have kids? There's just so many unanswered questions, and it was just so unnecessary. Let them have their lives together. Why will you limit their time? I didn't like that. Overall, though, on a scale, I would give it a solid 8 out of 10. Because, like I said, the last 5 episodes did very much take a lot for me out of the episode. And I think that, considering the perfection that they had created earlier on, they didn't need to damper it like that, because it was kind of like a bittersweet ending. And for what? If you want to make it a bittersweet ending, kill one of them. Let's know what we're doing, right? But if you like intelligent leads, absolutely intelligent, the slow burn love stories and political intrigue, this is for you. It is worth watching 100%, and I can't wait to rewatch it again. Really can't. But yeah, I know this was kind of a longer review than I usually do, but that's how much I really enjoyed this, and it really surprised me. And I was, I started for Yang Yang and Zhao Lusi, but I stayed for the story, guys. And it's rare for that to happen for me in series. So I loved it. I thought that it was a good watch, and I'm surprised that nobody ever recommended this to me. I'm really surprised that nobody recommended this to me. But maybe now that you guys know that I like this so much, there'll be other things like this that you might be able to recommend. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. What? Sorry, reaction on the brain. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Be sure to do all the right things, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.